Hello guys and welcome back on my channel again. In this video I will show you a complete project which is a school management system. I had already shown you the demo of that project. If you haven't seen the demo of that project, kindly go and check the demo first because you will not able to understand what I am trying to make in this video. So before seeing this video, kindly check that demo. Okay. So in this video I will show you how to make a complete school management system which I had made for a particular school as my own project in PHP. So many people were asking me to make a video on a project regarding PHP. So I had thought that I should share this project with all of you guys. So this is an intermediate and high expert level project. So if you know about PHP and everything, so this project is very easy for you because I had used very easy statements and logics to make you understand. This school management system covers everything a school needs. It will save the data of students, the faculty, and the school management system also includes a fees management system, and then a result management system, and then also a certificate management system. Okay, this school management system has two login pages and also has an admin management system that admin can give access to many users. So as everyone know that for making a PHP project or server side project we need a server. So the local server I had used for this project is Exam server. So I will assume that you all know that we can use Exam for making PHP projects and web pages. So if you haven't know about Exam and anything about Exam and how to use Exam, so do comment, so I will make a separate video on that. But in this video I will assume that you know about Exam a little bit. Okay, so I will just show you the codes and I will start telling you about the whole process of making this project. So before going to project, if you want to see any blogs regarding my videos and anything, you can jump to my website. The link will be in the description. And if you also want the source code of this project, so for that you can also contact me. You will find my email on my website. So now just jump uh, towards our code. So first of all I will turn on my Exam server. So I had turned on my Exam server. So I will first of all I will show you the database I had made for this project. So you can see database and all the tables I had made for this project. Okay, so that if you want to copy this project and want to make this project, you will find it easy to make this project. Okay, because database is the main part of this project. Saving data of everything is a very difficult task, and it has taken a lot of time for me to compute everything, that what should I have to put in database and how I have to put the things in database. Okay, so let me show you the database first. So the name I had chosen for this database is Royal Kids School because this I had made this project for Royal Kids Schools, and there are a total of 29 tables I had used for this project. Okay, so you can see that the tables are a daily fees record, discount, then there are a table for separate class, every class. Okay, so as there were classes in that school, I had made tables according to that. Okay, then there are tables for records, and there are table for a generate voucher. Vouchers are the free slips that school will generate. Okay, and then there are user table. Okay, then there are student tables, student fees record table. Okay, then there are marks table, and there are unpaid table, and there are also a user table. So there are a collection of 29 tables I had used in this whole project. Okay, so if you want to see everything and every column I had put in this table, you can comment me, then I will make a separate video, then I will show you everything about this database. Okay, because in this video I will show you only the code, because the code is very lengthy and it will make this video very long. Okay, as I have to show you each and everything I had used in this project. So I will leave the database here. So if you want to see database, so just comment it, I will make a video on that. Okay, so let's jump to our code editor. I will use Sublime for this project. So the first thing I will show you in this project is the connection file, that how you can connect your database with a PHP and widget server. Okay, so let me just open my connection file. So you can see that I had made a separate file for connection, so that I don't have to write that code again and again. I had just added this file on the top of every file where I had to use the database. Okay, so just this is a very handsome practice that you made a separate connection file, so that you don't have to write all of these code. Okay, so how do we connect our database with our PHP server or anything? So first of all, I had declared three variables in PHP. So we use that dollar symbols to declare variables in PHP as we declared variables in C++ or any other language. Okay, so I had declared three variables, one for host, okay, then second is for user, and third is for password. So as I am using the local host, so if you will use local host, then you and the host variable, you will always write local host. Okay, then there is a username, and I didn't change the username because root is the default username for local server, so I had just kept it the same. And then I had changed the password for my database. Okay, so you can see that I had write a long password for database. There is no need for password when you are using it local server, because no one can access your computer or your project. But I had to deploy this project on online server, so that's why I had done that. So don't try this password or this username, it will not benefit you at anything. Okay, so what I had done that, then I had declared a one more variable which is called link. So you can name anything which you wanted to. So then I had used a statement which is as mysqli underscore connect. Okay, this is a built-in function. So if your computer don't work with this statement, so then use mysql underscore connect. So okay, so then pass all of the variables, the local host variable, the user variable, and then password variable. So this statement will connect your project with the database. So then I had used an if statement. So I had written the statement that if my SQLi underscore connect underscore error, so that if while connecting my database with my project there comes an error, so then there is a built-in function which is called die, that don't connect, they run this function, just die it. Okay, just finish it and give a user the error that user cannot connect to the database, try again. Okay, or else, in else part, so suppose if the database connected successfully, okay, then it will select the specific database with I am working, which is Royal Kids School. So what in this statement I am doing, I am selecting the database which is Royal Kids School. Okay, so I have used the built-in function which is mysqli underscore select that data underscore database, and we had linked our database. Okay, and then we had selected the database which we want to work on, okay, which is Royal Kids School. Okay, so this is how we can connect our data project with the database. Okay, so the iterate symbols I had used behind the my PHP functions, it is because sometimes the server gave you an unnecessary errors. So these at the rate sign will remove that unnecessary errors automatically. So if you want to put those at the rate symbols, you can put it, but always put them at the end of the code when you will satisfy that your code will work at 100%. Okay, so don't put it without your satisfaction, because your browser will not give you any error. Okay, or not, or your server will give you any error, so you will not be able to find that why your code is not running. Okay, so the next thing I will show you in this video is how I made the login form for my project. Okay, so let me just open my login form. So I had made two login pages on my project. One is for users and one is for admins. Okay, so both of the login pages are same. Both of the pages use almost the same logic. So I will show you only one login page so you can understand the second login page. Okay, so first of all I will show you the HTML and other things. So I will also show you my login page. So let me just open my login page. So this is my one login page, and the other login page is inside the software which is for admin. So both of the pages are same, just there was the difference is in the styling. Okay, so what I am doing in the login page is that, so you can see that I had included that connection PHP file on this page like this. So you can use the include function of PHP to include the any file in any page. Okay, so I had used Bootstrap and other things to style my page. So I will show you the HTML first. So first of all I had used a navbar. You can see that it is a built-in class of Bootstrap. So I had put the Bootstrap link over here. You can see that in the head section. Okay, so in the navbar section I had used two paragraphs to write the school name and the statement of the school, and you can see that these are over here. And the next thing I had done, that I had used a div, container div. Okay, then I had write two headings. One is login page and other is the name of the school. So you can see that these are over here. So after that I had used two inputs, one for email and one for password. So the remaining things are the built-in classes of Bootstrap. So you can copy it from the Bootstrap page, official page. Okay, and you can also write it yourself. So this is the first input, okay, button, which is saying which has a type of email, and it is a required. Okay, so required attribute make it must that you have to write that email. So it is a front page validation. Okay, so I didn't use JavaScript for validation. Okay, so instead of that I had used HTML validations. Okay, then I had given the attribute name, then placeholder. Okay, so the password I had used the type password, and it is also required and everything. So and then the third thing is the button. Okay, so button has a type of submit and the value of login and the name of submit. So the code over here are the libraries I had used for JavaScript, so you don't have to understand those. Those I didn't use them anywhere. I just had put them. So what this div is doing that, this div is showing you an error. So if you write the code or email wrong, so this will give you a nice looking error. Okay, so what this div is doing, that there is a condition if, that if variable error is equals to null. I had defined the variable error on the top. I will show you, while I will show you how to code in our the code of PHP section. So it is echoing that echo will display anything we will write in this. Okay, so in the echo section we are using a div and HTML error alert message. Okay, it is also a bootstrap error, and I had used the default bootstrap classes. Okay, or in the error message it is showing you the error message. It will give get the error message from the top of the page, which is PHP. Okay, so this is all I am doing in in HTML section. So on the above side, this is the CSS I had used for this styling. So this is the basic styling, so I don't have to show you or tell you anything about that. But you can see that this is some specific code I have used. Okay, and this is true. So I had used this code. I had taken out this code from Google. So I had used this page so that the page don't move. Okay, so you can see that the page is stretched from left to right and top to bottom exactly. Okay, so for that, for this thing I had used this code. Okay, so you can just download it from the Google, or you can write anything. And in the background section I had used two images. Okay, so one is for this image and second is on the page, on the little box. Okay, so whenever a user will write the email and password, it will enter the submit button. So in the PHP section what I am doing is that, so you can see that here is the error variable. Okay, so it has a value of null. Okay, so whenever the user will press the submit button, so there is a condition that if where array key exists. Okay, so array key exists is a built-in PHP function which checks that there is an array coming from the HTML section or not. Okay, so then it is the submit. Okay, submit is the button. So you can see that submit is the name of button input type. So PHP check the name attribute for any array and anything. So it will check that submit has posted. It is also a built-in value. So then there are some validations I had put using PHP. Okay, so I had validate this form with two ways. Okay, one is with the HTML and second is with using a PHP. So it will check if our email has posted, email has not posted. Okay, then it will this message will be saved in the error. Then it will check the same for password. Okay, and suppose if the error message is empty, so it will show you there are no errors, so it will not show you anything, by the way. So in the else section what I am doing, that I am saving, I am selecting the data from database. Okay, retrieving the data from database, and then I am comparing my email and password with those email and password. Okay, so I had defined a variable which is name query. So what I am doing is that select static. Static will select everything from the database. So select static from users. User is the table where the record of all the users are kept. Okay, so it will select everything from the users. Okay, uh, where email, okay, is this email. Okay, so it will select the record of that user whose email is matched to the email we had entered. Okay, so it will only retrieve the data of that user. So suppose I had entered an email, so it, what this statement will do, it will retrieve the data of only that user. Okay, so what there is a function I had used which is MySQL underscore real underscore escape underscore string. So what this function will do, this function will fill every unnecessary gaps or anything between my string. Okay, so if there are any gap and anything in my string, this function will remove that. Okay, so then I am linking my database and then I am posting my email. Okay, the email the user had entered. Okay, so this is my query. Then what I am doing, then I am running my query. Okay, so my SQLi underscore query will run our query. So you have to write this the same every time. Okay, so you have to give the name of the variable of the query and then the link variable. Okay, so this link variable we had defined it in our connection.php file. You can see that. Okay, so add we had included this file in our page on the top. So then we are fetching the whole row. Okay, so and we are saving that row in our row variable. So this function will fetch everything. So this statement will fetch the data. Okay, then it will compare with the email I had posted again. Okay, so I had done this validation again for the errors. Okay, so there is no need for this again because we had already compared the data email over here. Okay, so it is again comparing my email with the email I had posted. Okay, then if it does not match, so then there are errors that there are errors in your form and your email is wrong. Please try again. Okay, so again there is in this section I am comparing my password with the password I had posted. Okay, so if the password and everything got matched, it will send the user to the main page. Okay, so main page is the main page of my form or my software, and if the password don't match, then there are again errors that your password is wrong, please try again. Okay, so this is how I had made this login page. So I had shown you the connection file and PHP login page file in this video. So I hope you had understand both of these things. So if you didn't understand anything, then comment below. I will answer every query. As you can see that I am not writing any code and I am not making a separate files. Okay, for the code. It is because the video will get so long. Okay, so I am making you understand everything from these files. So if you had any questions, so just answer the question me in the comment section. I will answer it in the comment section. Okay, so now I will show you the demo of my project. Okay, so suppose I am writing these things. So if suppose I had pressed the login button without the password, so you can see that it will give an error that please fill out this field first. Okay, so suppose if I write the password and I don't write the email, so it will again give me an error. And suppose I have entered both of the things and I write the login button, so it will show me that there are errors in the form, your email is wrong, please try again. Okay, so suppose I entered the right email then the wrong password, so now you can see that it will show me the error that your password is wrong, please try again. So if I write both of the things, I write both of the things correct and log in, so now you can see that it has logged me in successfully. Okay, so this is the home page for my project. Okay, you can see that. So the next thing I will show you is the home page of my project. So let's just continue. So this is the main page coding. So on this page there is mostly the HTML bootstrap. Okay, and there are a lot of links in this page. So there is a little PHP and SQL, MySQL coding which I had used on this top section because I am showing the user, the total students and active students and total employees and active employees. So for that I had used PHP and MySQL, and the remaining thing I had done that in Bootstrap and HTML. Okay, and the top section of this page I had saved this in separate file, and the bottom section of this page is also in separate file. Okay, so this is my header and this is my footer. Okay, for those two files I had made separate files. Okay, so after the main page I will show you these two files first. Okay, so all of these things I had done in HTML, Bootstrap and CSS. So first of all I will show you the HTML section. Okay, so first of all I have defined a div which is container, which will contain my first section, and there is another container which will contain my second section. Okay, so this is a simple HTML. Okay, what I am doing is there is an label which says student information. There is a label. Okay, and there I had also put an image in the label section, and there is the little style over here. So you can see that there is the student information, and then there is the picture and the hover. I had put the hover effect in the CSS part. Okay, then there is three, then there is a list. Okay, and in the list section I had shown three total students, active students and inactive students, and I have shown using PHP. Okay, so there is a PHP echo over here. Okay, so it will get the data from the top of the PHP section. Okay, so I had done for the same for the faculty section. So these both sections are exactly the same. Okay, so then I had put these quick links. Okay, so you can see that whenever you click any button it will take you on that page. Okay, so these are quick links. So for the quick links I had used the buttons, HTML buttons, and I had styled them using Bootstrap. Okay, so first of all there is a spam tag which says students, which is this. Okay, and there is also label which say quick options. You can see that, and then I had put 5 buttons in this section. So I had just copy and pasted this data, this whole code 5 times. Okay, for every function I had used different quick links. Okay, so I had just entered different URLs in every button section. Okay, so giving a link in the button section and sending the user to another page using the button is a bit of trick. Okay, so for that I had used some functions. So first of all there is a button. Okay, then on click there is I had used a function. Okay, which says windows.location.href, which is reference. So this is a built-in function, you can use it the same. Then after equal to I had entered the URL of the page on which I want the user to go. Okay, and then this is the class for button, and then this is the text for button which is insert student. Okay, so this is not a very difficult thing. So all of the buttons are working like the same. Okay, so every button use the same thing. So if you want to send user to any other page using the button, so this is the syntax for that. Okay, you have to write on click and this function. So you don't have to write JavaScript functions and other things for that. It is difficult to, so just use this simple function. Okay, I had found that function after a lot of search. So I was also doing this thing using JavaScript then, but this thing is also simple and also efficient. Okay, so I hope you had understand this. So this is the basic CSS for this page, and then there is the PHP for this page. So what I am doing this, I am including the connection file first, then I am including the header file. So this is the header file for this page. Okay, so this is the same for every page, and footer file is also same for every page. So here's I am including the footer file. So after that I had to write some count variables. These variable will count the data, okay, which I am showing in the over here, okay. So I had defined different count variable for every data. So I am showing 6 different types of data. So there are 6 different count variable. So this is not a difficult thing over here. So what I am doing is I am selecting, okay, the thing I want to select from the specific tables. Then I am running the query, and then there is a loop. It will fetch the data of every student, okay. Then it will count plus plus, okay. It will increase 1 every time this loop will run, okay. So I had shown you how the query will run. So this is the variable which is query1. So it will select admission number from students and from student, and then I will run this query by MySQLi query, and then I will link it with the variable, and then I will retrieve using this function. So this is also a function to retrieve data from database, which is MySQLi underscore fetch underscore associate, okay. So this will also fetch the data from the database, and then there is the loop. So I had done the same thing 6 times, okay, but I had used the different things. So in the second query, what I am doing, I am selecting the admission number, okay, but where the status is active. So where uh, filter will do, it will fetch the data of only those students which has a status of active, okay, as I am showing active students in my information table. Then there is the same for inactive students. So it is totally the same over here, same code, okay. So when I am showing this data, so you can see that I am showing the count, okay. So count 1, count 2, count 3, and count 4, 5, 6, okay. So the what is the value of the count will be shown over here. So this is all the thing I am doing in the my page, main page, okay. So you can see that, okay. So this is the count variable showing the total values, and those are the quick links. So I will also show the hover effect I had put for the values. So you can see that here is the spam tag. I have used the spam tag for student and faculty, and then there is the hover effect, and there is a color, and I had also increased the font size on hover effect, okay. So this is all for the main page, okay. So I hope you had understand this page too. So if you had any questions regarding this page, you can just comment it, I will answer it. So the next thing I will show you on this page is the header page. So let me just open my header page. So this is the code for header, okay. So on the header page, I am doing two things. I am designing this top section, okay, then this section, and then all of these menus, okay. So you can see that there are drop downs on everywhere, okay, except the admin panel. So this is the admin panel, okay, admin login page. So I had used the same thing for both of the pages, but the styling is different, okay. So let me just show you the HTML of this page first. So first of all, what I am doing is there is a nav bar on the top, okay. So I had used nav bar for this top section to design this login logout button, okay. So first of all, there is a nav bar. This is a built-in bootstrap. You can just copy it from the bootstrap page, okay. Then there is the button, okay. So I had used an JavaScript function on click, okay. So what will this function will do, this will ask the user that do you really wanna log out, okay. So this is a basic function. I will show you how I had write this. So there is a type of button, and then there is a name logout, and this is the value logout. So this is the basic button of HTML. So then I had used this clear div. So what clear div will do, it will clear the CSS styling of the previous div. Okay, so then after that there is this part. In this part I had used two headings, one for the school and one for the their mission statements. So everything I had styled these things in the CSS section. Okay, so you can style like you want to. So that's why I'm not showing you the styling of my project. I'll just showing you the code. Okay, so after this section I had again used the clear div. So clear div don't do anything except clearing the previous CSS styles. Okay, so there is again a nav bar, which is dark nav bar. So for this links part I had also used a nav bar, and on the nav bar I had put all of these drop downs. Okay, so this is the first list, which start from here and end over here. Okay, you can see that. So in the first list, so you can see that in the first list I had write the home. So this is the home page, and this is the link for home page. So in the link section you can easily put the link. So in the href section I had write the link for home page, and the uh, remaining things are the bootstrap classes. Okay, then there is an other link, uh, list, li list. So this is the bootstrap classes. Okay, then I had write the menu. Okay, so you can see that the menu, this is the menu. So I haven't put any link in the menu tag. You can see that there is no link. So whenever I will click the menu, so this is the drop down list for the menu part. Okay, you can see that. So this is the class for drop down, and then there is all the pages I am showing in the drop down. So this is the students, all faculty, everything. You can see that, and I am writing the links over here. Okay, so you can see that there are the links. Okay, so you can see that whenever of I click this drop down, after these four there is a line. Okay, and then there is the about section. So for that line I had used the bootstrap class, which is drop down divider. Okay, so this div will put a line. Okay, so you can see that I had used it many here. Okay, many other parts of the code also. So this is for the first menu. Okay, so this I had copied paste the same code over 5 to 6 times. So how many, so you can also copy the same code 5 to 6 times, or how many menus you want. Okay, so there is a manage employee menu, then there are the links and drop downs for that, and there is the manage student. Okay, then there is a manage fees record, then there is a certificate. Okay, then there is certificate records, and then there is manage result. Okay, so everything is same, totally is the same. Okay, so and in the separate I am using a control panel. Okay, so I am not giving any drop down link over here. So it is just the simple. So I will show you the uh, JavaScript function in a bit. So in this page I am not using any PHP. There is only one PHP statement that if logout will post, then it will refer me towards login page. Okay, so there is only one. Okay, So there is a function I had used, ob underscore start. Okay, so what this function will do, so many times whenever you include uh, the files in your page, okay, so the files start getting repeated. Okay, so files uh, start to repeat itself. Okay, so the styling we use in the file and the previous file styling, they will start getting repeated. Okay, so for that I had used this function. So what this function will do, this will start our file from the start. Okay, so that no style or nothing will start repeating itself. Okay, so now I will show you the JavaScript function. So what this function is doing, so whenever I will click this button, this function will call. And what I am doing in this function is that, so there is, I am defining a variable which is text. So then there is a statement that confirm is a built-in function. Okay, so it is asking that do you really want to log out. So if the text is log out, so it will log out the page, or else it will show you that it will do nothing. Okay, so then this is the button. Okay, so if the text will be log out, then it will log out, or if the text is this, it will not log out. So it will check on the top of the PHP section I had shown you already. So this is how I had designed my HTML, the header section. Okay, so this is all for the header section. So the final thing I will show you in this video is the footer section. So let me just open the file. So this is the total footer section. Footer section is only a nav bar which says all right reserved. Then it says designed and made by Muhammad Munif, which is my name. Okay, so what I am doing is I am using a nav bar, and this nav bar says two things. One is paragraph and other is link. So you can see that one says all right reserved and other says made by Munif and this thing. Okay, so for this copyright sign over here, you can see that there is a little copyright sign and there is a little arrow sign. Okay, so for that I had used this. Okay, so these are the built-in HTML signs libraries or signs codes. Okay, so you can just Google it and copy it, or just write it as I had written. Okay, so these are the classes for JavaScript, so there is nothing special in them, so don't get into them. So this is all the code I had used for the nav bar or the footer section. So in this video I had shown you the connection file, and then the login page file, and then the main page, and header and footer. So after seeing this code, try to write this code, okay, yourself, and if you got any questions and queries, then do comment, so I will answer your queries. Okay, so it is not a very difficult thing, you can design it by seeing my code easily. Okay, so this is all for this video. If you want to see anything regarding my videos, check my blog. Okay, and if you have any questions, then do comment. Okay, thank you.